All right, let's dive in headfirst into this whole Maesai situation.
Sounds good to me.
This time, we're on the edge of Thailand and Myanmar, right where the Maesai River flows. Thick jungle. It kind of separates these two different worlds, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah?
Our sources, they really give you a sense of this place. Like, we've got this riverside guest house, sits right there overlooking the river.
Nice.
And it's run by this woman, Judy, who seems to know, well, everything going on in Maesai.
Sounds like quite a character.
Oh, absolutely. Plus, we've got researchers' notes, news clippings, even personal stories, a death shrouded in mystery, ancient manuscripts, the whole 9 yards.
Lots to unpack there.
Tons.
Yeah.
So we brought in an expert, someone who really knows this region and the Aka people, like inside and out.
Well, I'm happy to help shed some light on things. It's always fascinating to see how history and culture intertwine.
All right, so let's get into it. Our story kicks off with a body found in the Maesai River. Simon, a foreigner, and get this, he's got a head wound.
That's not your typical tourist mishap, is it?
Not at all. And the location just adds to the mystery. I mean, we're talking about the Golden Triangle, right? Smuggling Central, historically known for all sorts of shady dealing.
Oh, absolutely. A history steeped in opium, precious stones, even endangered animals, you name it. Throw in an unexplained head wound, well, you can't help but wonder if it was an accident or something way more deliberate.
Exactly. And of course, the rumor mill starts churning. The marketplace is buzzing. You hear talk of drug deals gone bad, revenge killings. And then there's this whole thing about Simon being obsessed with these hidden Aka manuscripts.
I think they're the manuscripts.
But before we get into those, for those who don't know, who are the Aka people? Like, give us the rundown.
Sure. So the Aka are an indigenous group who have called these mountainous regions home for centuries. Their culture is incredibly rich, deeply connected to the land, passed down through generations, mainly through stories and oral traditions.
So these manuscripts Simon was so into, they're basically like their history books.
Even more than that, they're a living embodiment of their history, their knowledge, rituals, beliefs, everything.
So not just old stories, then. The Aka believe these manuscripts hold real power.
Oh, absolutely. They see them as imbued with spiritual energy, almost like a direct link to their ancestors, not something to be taken lightly.
Gotcha. So disturbing them could really mess things up.
It could upset a delicate balance, and that's where this idea of a curse comes in, you see.
Okay, so we've got a mysterious death, ancient, potentially cursed manuscripts, all happening in a region known for, well, let's just say, a relaxed approach to the law.
It's a potent mix, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, this is already shaping up to be one wild ride. And we haven't even gotten to the other players yet.
Oh yeah, we can't forget about them.
Right. We've got Mary, this researcher who sees outsiders like Simon as a threat to the Aka way of life. She's almost like a guardian, fiercely protective.
Makes sense, given what we know about the Aka and their beliefs.
Totally. And then we've got Father Thomas, knows all the local legends and seems to have this, like, personal connection to the manuscripts.
Father Thomas is really interesting. He bridges the gap between the past and present.
How so?
But he tells this story about Aka shamans hiding these very manuscripts during colonial times. They knew outsiders wanted to exploit their knowledge, so they took steps to protect it.
It's like that constant struggle between preserving knowledge and, well, trying to control it.
Exactly, a theme that unfortunately repeats itself throughout history.
Okay, so we've got all this simmering, and then, bam, the story takes us across the border right into Myanmar. A carnival is in full swing.
Oh, I love a good carnival. Who doesn't?
Right. And there we meet Ken, another key character. He bumps into this mysterious Shan girl, gets a strange warning to contact Judy, our guest house owner, and then, poof, the girl vanishes.
Now, the Shan people, they had their own rich history in the region, closely tied to the Aka. Their paths have crossed for generations.
So this girl's warning, it's like another thread in this already complex tapestry.
It's like the story itself is reflecting those deep cultural connections. There's a layer of meaning there, something beneath the surface.
Okay, so this isn't just some murder mystery with missing manuscripts, right? There's this underlying current of cultural tension.
Absolutely. It's about these different groups, their past, their beliefs, and how they all come crashing together.
It's like a powder keg just waiting for a spark.
You could say that.
All right, so we're officially way beyond a simple whodunit. Cultural clashes, mysterious warnings, potentially cursed manuscripts. And then both Mary and Judy, they get pulled deeper into this whole thing, but for totally different reasons.
Oh, yeah. They're on different paths.
Mary's all about protecting the Aka, right? While Judy seems more focused on, well, clearing her guest house's name and finding out who killed Simon.
Right. They're both searching for the truth, but they're coming at it from opposite directions.
Two sides of the same coin.
Exactly.
And all of this is happening against the backdrop of the Golden Triangle, no less.
It certainly adds an element of danger, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. And speaking of danger, it turns out Simon wasn't just some quiet researcher. He owed money to a local gang, the Red Serpents.
Ah, yes, the Red Serpents, notorious in the region.
Yeah, these guys are the real deal. Smugglers, enforcers, the works.
Their involvement definitely raises the stakes. Was Simon's death related to his debt, or is there a deeper connection to the manuscripts?
Okay, so to recap, we've got a murder mystery, possibly cursed manuscripts, cultural clashes, and now a dangerous gang. What else could go wrong?
Oh, we're just getting started.
You've got to be kidding me.
Well, Ken deciphers a map found among Simon's things.
Oh, here we go.
And guess what? It points to a remote location in the mountains, a place rumored to be connected to the manuscripts.
Of course it does.
Yeah.
What makes these Aka manuscripts so special anyway? I mean, lots of cultures have ancient texts, right?
True, but the Aka believe these manuscripts hold the key to their very identity. Their spiritual power, their connection to the land, it's all there.
So this isn't about just finding some old books.
No, it's about understanding their cultural weight, the power they hold, and the potential consequences of disturbing them.
And those consequences might be more real than anyone bargained for.
You're telling me.
All right, so we've got our players, we've got motives, and we've got a map pointing to potential danger and ancient secrets. Where do we go from here?
Well, that's a story for another time.
That's right. Stay tuned for part 2 of this deep dive, where we'll follow the trail of those Aka manuscripts and uncover even more secrets. Welcome back to this deep dive. Last we left off, Judy was on her way, following that map, heading deep into the mountains to find those Aka manuscripts.
Right, with a guide in tow.
But remember all those bad vibes we talked about, those eerie feelings of being watched?
Right, yeah.
Well, it turns out it wasn't just their imagination. Both Judy's group and Mary's group, remember she's searching for those manuscripts too, they were being messed with big time. False trails, planted evidence, all this stuff designed to throw them off the scent.
Looks like someone's playing games with them.
Oh, it's way more than just games. This is someone or some group controlling the narrative, pulling strings. They're protecting whatever it is they're hiding.
And they're not afraid to use manipulation to do it.
So what kind of tricks are we talking about here?
Think psychological warfare. Judy's group stumbles on what they think are important papers, but they're decoys, dead ends. Mary's group, they find this supposed Aka shrine, but it's all staged, a fake.
Whoa! That's messed up.
It's about preying on their fears, their hopes, keeping them off balance,
That's cold.
but effective.
So both groups are lost in this jungle labyrinth, being toyed with left and right. Talk about tension. But then, get this, Judy and Mary, you know those rivals we talked about?
Yeah, what about them?
They call a truce.
You're kidding.
Nope, they realize they have a common enemy in the Red Serpents.
Well, that'll bring people together.
It's a classic team-up. Outnumbered, outgunned, they need to work together if they're going to survive.
Smart.
But are they really on the same page? I mean, Mary's all about protecting Aka culture, while Judy just wants to solve this murder.
Different motives, but a shared goal, at least for now.
And of course, they're still pawns in this bigger game, whether they realize it or not.
Right, they're still being manipulated.
Speaking of manipulation, remember Anwar? That guy Judy hired seemed so harmless.
Oh, yeah, what about him?
Turns out, he's been feeding intel to the Red Serpents the whole time, leading them right into a trap.
No way. That's a serious betrayal.
Talk about a twist.
It shows how trust can be so easily shattered, especially when the stakes are this high.
So they're betrayed, still lost in the jungle. What happens next?
The chase is on. They're deeper into the mountains now, heading toward this remote cave system following that map.
Oh, this can't be good.
And this isn't just any cave. The Aka hold it sacred. There's this heavy atmosphere, whispers of a curse. It's like the cave itself is guarding something.
Okay, now we're getting into some spooky territory. You know, caves, darkness, the unknown. That taps into some primal fears.
For sure. And the closer they get, the more real those curse legends start to feel.
So do they just waltz right into this cave?
Well, Mary, she knows Aka traditions. She knows you don't just barge into a sacred place like that.
Makes sense.
Judy, on the other hand, she's all business. She wants those manuscripts.
Two very different approaches.
It creates some friction, for sure. But the cave itself, it's a challenge. Booby-trapped passages, hidden rooms, Aka symbols carved into the walls. It's like it's testing them.
This is some Indiana Jones stuff. Are these traps just clever engineering, or is there something, well, supernatural going on?
That's the thing, the lines start to blur. Even Judy, the skeptic, even she starts to feel it, like they're not alone.
So not only do they have the gang and these traps to deal with, they've got the cave itself working against them.
It's a whole new level of danger.
How do they even survive this?
It takes everything they've got. Judy's street smarts, Mary's knowledge of the Aka, Ken's knack for deciphering clues, even Father Thomas's understanding of local lore. They all play a part.
Wow, a real team effort, but the danger isn't over, right?
Not even close.
Yeah.
And just when they think they're cornered by the red serpents, Mary, she remembers something.
What's that?
Aka rituals, ways to call upon the spirits. She decides to use them.
Wait, she's using Aka magic? In a showdown with a gang?
It's a desperate move, but they're out of options.
Ah.
And the results, well, they're both terrifying and amazing.
Okay, now I've got to know what happens. Okay, so back to that cave, that showdown. Mary just called on the spirits, and the red serpents, they're not looking so tough anymore.
Well, the cave, it kind of has a mind of its own, you know. The air gets freezing, torches go out, these creepy whispers start echoing around.
Whoa, that's some straight-up horror movie stuff.
It's like the cave itself is responding to Mary's ritual.
Okay, I'm getting chills just thinking about it. So, the gang, they're spooked. The cave's on Mary's side. What happens?
They bolt. These hardened criminals, they turn tail and run, scared out of their wits.
No way, they actually run away.
They do. It's a reminder that belief, even when things look impossible, can be a powerful force.
I love it. But Judy, she's not exactly the type to believe in ghosts and spirits, right?
Yeah, even Judy. She can't deny what's happening,
Well,
but she's sharp, you know. She notices Anwar, that guide. He's a little too calm in all the chaos.
like, suspiciously calm.
Exactly. It's like he knew this was going to happen.
Interesting. Does she call him out right there?
Not right away. They use the chaos to get out of the cave, but Judy, she's keeping a close eye on Anwar. And wouldn't you know it, as they're making their way back, the gang shows up again, and Anwar, he shows his true colors.
Wait, seriously, he was working with them the whole time.
The whole time. It's a major betrayal, especially for Judy. It shows just how deep this conspiracy goes.
So betrayed, trapped again, talk about a bad situation. What do they do now?
They manage to break free, but it's a close call.
Yeah.
And as they're regrouping, Father Thomas, he's been pretty quiet up until now. He says something chilling. The curse, it's real.
Wait, he's not just talking about the legend, he's actually experiencing it.
He is. And it seems to be tied to taking those manuscripts from the cave.
Like, disturbing them set something bad loose.
That's the idea. They need to get those manuscripts back to the Aka village fast.
But how? They're being hunted, Father Thomas is getting worse, they're in the middle of nowhere.
Desperate times call for desperate measures. They decide to head back to the Aka village. They need the elders' help, their knowledge of the old ways.
It's like every time they hit a dead end, they turn back to the Aka culture, like the answer's been there all along.
It's a reminder that sometimes the solutions we need are found in the traditions we might not understand.
Okay, so they're heading back to the village. But do they make it? I'm on the edge of my seat.
It's a tough journey, lots of close calls, but they finally arrive, manuscripts in hand, Father Thomas barely hanging on.
And the elders, they know what to do, right?
Oh yeah, they immediately start preparing this cleansing ritual. Ancient chants, drumming, offerings, the whole works.
Another ritual. This one better work because things are getting pretty dire.
It's a beautiful ceremony, really. They're asking the spirits for forgiveness, for protection. It's a reminder that we need to respect things that are bigger than ourselves.
So does it work? Is the curse lifted? Tell me they get a happy ending.
It does work. The manuscripts are back where they belong. Father Thomas recovers. A sense of peace returns to the village. It's a testament to the power of belief, of tradition.
What a relief. So good guys win, bad guys lose. Everyone learns a valuable lesson about respecting ancient cultures. The end, right?
Not quite. Life in Maesai, it goes back to normal, but everyone's changed. Judy sees the Aka culture in a new light. Mary understands it even more deeply, and Ken, he wants to share this story with the world.
It's amazing how these tough experiences can change us for the better.
That they can.
But what about the red serpents? What about the mastermind behind all of this? Do they get what's coming to them?
That's part of the mystery, isn't it? Some questions don't have easy answers. It reminds us that the world is full of things we might never understand.
Well, I guess that's okay. Some things are better left unknown. This deep dive, wow. We started with a death, some old manuscripts, and ended up exploring all these cultural clashes, supernatural stuff, the power of belief. It's been a wild ride.
It has been, hasn't it? All because we asked, was it an accident or something more?
And it was definitely something more. So to everyone listening, remember to be open to different ways of seeing things, respect those cultures that have been around for centuries, and maybe, just maybe, the greatest treasures are the ones we already have.
Words to live by.
Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep diving deep.